Yeah, obviously everyone saw he took a shot to the head, but I just checked in on him. Seems to be doing really good already. So um, that's just where it's at. That's the status of it right now.
Do you know any next steps in terms of him talking to Dr.
We just
Green?
got done with the game, Mike.
Darvin, so setting AD aside then, what did you think the difference was as starting in that kind of the end of the second quarter, Golden State extends the lead, and then start of the third, they push it further?
I mean, obviously, they're a prideful group. Salute to them, taking care of business on their own floor. That's just how the playoffs go. They came out, they had the crowd behind them. They was able to see some shots go in early. Really got it going early from the three-point line. But, it is what it is. We just got to come out ready to do the same on our home floor. I mean, we defended better in the second half. They had 11 threes at halftime, ended up with 13 for the game. I just thought early on we had too many turnovers, gave them some gimmies, some offensive rebounds that turned into points for them. Turnovers turned into points for them. Just got to do a better job of taking care of the ball and then, again, continue to get hits on offense in terms of setting screens and playing downhill and being ready to make a quick decision on catch.
Darvin, you guys shot only 15 free throws tonight. Why do you think that was? Was that an aggression factor for you guys, or was there other things that you saw?
I mean, we played the same way we always play. I don't know. I don't know what's a foul anymore.
The narrative over the past 48 hours out of Golden State was that you guys embellish and flop. Do you think that impacted at all the way this game was officiated tonight?
No, we play a physical brand of basketball. We don't teach flopping. We don't teach head snaps. I mean, you see Bron, he's got 1,000 scratches on his arms. Same with AD, same with Austin Reaves, same with Lonnie Walker. I don't know, it's unfortunate that it comes to that, but we hadn't done it all year, and we're damn sure not going to start now. Looking for a third party to dive in and help us. We just going to coach our team. We're just going to play the way we play, that physical, forceful brand of basketball, and just let the chips fall where they may.
Darvin, I know the game just ended, but what's key in this next 24, 48 hours to hit reset so you can get back in the home court and do what you've done 8 straight home games?
The recovery game. We'll go back, dissect the film, see, areas where we can get better, and go from there. But the biggest thing for us is recovery. Getting ourselves packed up, getting on a plane, getting back to L.A., and start to fill our cup up for Friday night.
Draymond scored 20 tonight, which he almost never does.
Is there something going on with the mic? I can't hear it. I barely can hear anyone's questions.
Yeah, mics have been kind of weird. Draymond scored 20 tonight. He almost never scores 20. What did you see? Why did you think he was able to kind of get loose offensively?
He came out aggressive, and there's going to be opportunities for him the way we've been defending him, and tonight he made shots.
Yeah, Austin, Darvin said there wasn't that much to report about AD at this point, but he said when he went in there, he seemed like he was doing better so far. Just what's your level of concern for a teammate kind of taking a blow like that?
I mean, obviously, you never want to see a teammate get hit, but like Darv said, seeing him in the locker room, and he's doing better.
Obviously, he's key to everything that you guys do. This game and then kind of leading into the next game. What are the things that you as a team have to try to do now that you're going back for Game 6?
We'll go back and watch film. Obviously they're the defending champs for a reason, and they come out, and I think start of the first quarter and the third quarter they just played harder than us, and that was the main thing. But like I said, we'll go watch film tomorrow and get better and lock in for Game 6.
Austin, what have you guys learned throughout these playoffs so far about processing a loss and then coming in fresh for the next game?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like every other loss. You never want to have 2 in a row. Like I said, they're the defending champs for a reason. Obviously, But there's a lot of things that we can do better. And like I said, we'll go watch film and figure those things out. And then, you know, at the least, we're going to come out with a lot more firepower, a lot more energy than what we have.
Austin, in the first quarter of Game 4, and then it seemed like most of this until AD got the shot that they were able to kind of pull him away from the rim and keep him more on the perimeter. How were they able to do that, and how can you guys kind of counter that?
This, like I've said a couple of times, it's a chess piece at this point. Like it's a chess match. You know, they got a really good coach. You know, we got a really good coach. They're going back and forth with schemes and stuff like that. I don't know the answer to that. I haven't, watched, the game yet. But anytime we can have AD, in the back line of defense, is a lot better for us than him being on the perimeter just because he can alter so many shots. But the fix for that, I don't know yet. But I'm sure the coaching staff, everybody on the team is, looking for ways for us to be better.
Austin, Darvin said he felt like you guys played as physically as you normally do. You just didn't.
I have no idea. That's not for me to say. Everybody's human. You could come in here and say the officiating, this, that, and the other, but at the end of the day, like, we're players. We're expected to make shots, but we miss shots. They're expected to get every call right, but that's not the nature of life. Nobody's perfect. So you can't even sit up here and, blame them for anything. But, I don't know the answer to that.
Austin, is there anything from Game 6 from the series against Memphis that can help you guys in this Game 6 coming up?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this series is basically the same as, the last Memphis series as far as, like, game by game, win by win, loss by loss. So, you can look back at that and look and see the energy and the effort that we come out with in Game 6 from the get-go. Even the third quarter, the intensity, the attention to detail, and all those little things that, will, hopefully help us win this series.
Austin, I'm sure you guys believe, even if AD can't play Friday night, that you can win that game. If by chance he cannot play, how do you win that game without him?
That's score more points than the other team. Obviously AD's huge to what we do, and I believe he'll play. But if that's not the case, we're still a group of NBA basketball players that have played games without him this year. Like I said, you never want to play a big game without a guy like that. But that's the nature of the game. But that's really it. Score more points.
Thanks, Doc.
For sure, John.
Piedmont High. I thought it was Piedmont High School.
Close.
Hi, Steve. Besides, obviously, just providing another scorer on the floor, when Draymond is aggressive like that on offense, what does that do for your team?
Yeah, I think there's a stat somewhere. Raymond's got it for sure. When he scores a certain number of points, we usually win. He's when he's aggressive like that, looking to attack, it definitely adds another dimension to our team. And I loved his approach to the game tonight. He was aggressive right from the start. Picked up a foul on the first play, and didn't care. Like, made no bones about it. He's like, I'm coming, and I thought he was one of the keys for sure.
You stayed with Peyton, obviously in the starting lineup, but I think he's plus 25 in this game. What does he do for you, specifically against the Lakers, that's kind of triggering some of this?
Well, Gary's a game changer, and we knew that last year. We don't win the championship without Gary, and so to get him back has completely changed our defense. And against these guys, he's got the ability to get into their guards. They have great guard play with D'Lo and Reaves and Schroeder. Obviously, Walker last game played so well. So Gary gives us, someone who can get underneath their ball handlers and at least make them, have to work. And then offensively, he's so unique with his speed and his ability to finish around the rim. So it's just we're a different team, now that he's back with us.
Steve, go ahead, CJ.
Hey, Steve, kind of circling back to Kendra's note on aggression, what does an aggressive Andrew Wiggins do for you guys offensively?
Yeah, this was the best game Wiggs has played since he's been back, over, I guess, three weeks or so now. The way he attacked, the way he got to the rim, that adds another dimension to our attack. I thought the last couple games in LA, we didn't get to the line a ton. We settled for a lot of stuff, and I thought Wiggs did a good job of really being aggressive.
Steve, back here. Steph has 22 assists the last 2 games. Obviously hasn't shot well from 3 by his standards. But how essential has that been, his sort of playmaking, and how much is that a function of the way the Lakers are defending you guys?
It's a little of both. I mean, I think Steph at this point in his career, he really feels, what needs to happen during a game, what's required of him. And you saw it in Game 7 against Sacramento, where he knew he had to score, took 38 shots. In this series, the Lakers' defense is really good. They're great at the rim. We got to get the ball moving. We got to move their defense around, and Steph understands that. And I don't know what his assist to turnover ratio is in this series, but it's pretty impressive.
Hey, Steve. You saw Draymond say on his pod, all we have to do is win one game, and then the entire tenor of the series changes, and the pressure is back on the Lakers. Obviously, every single time you guys have gone to the playoffs, basically, since the Big Three has been together, you guys have reached the finals. Is there always a belief, like no matter what situation you guys are in, just because of that you guys can get through it all? Yeah.
I think there's always that belief based on the success these guys have had and the confidence they've built up together, the continuity. So I think our guys were disappointed we couldn't wrap up Game 4 after playing pretty well for most of the game. But now we get another crack to go down there and try to even up the series. So the guys will always have belief. That's who they are.
Steve, there was a sequence in the fourth quarter where Andrew was picking up LeBron almost full court, knocked the ball away. It wound up with Draymond blocking Anthony Davis. Just kind of take me through that sequence and what's it like to see their defense lead to offense on the other side?
Yeah, well, Wiggs, we ask so much of him defensively in any playoff series. He's going to end up on, the opponent's best wing player. So in this series, that's obviously LeBron, and thank God we've got Wiggs because he can play all night. He can pressure up the court. He can guard in the half court and stay in front of people. And on that particular play, he picked up LeBron really high, and then Draymond was behind the play to help him out. So it's a big sequence.
Hey, Coach. Klay Thompson had 10 points tonight, 3 of 12 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, but he's plus 16 on tonight. So can you kind of just tell me your perspective on how Klay played tonight? Do you think it was a really good Klay performance, or do you think you need more for Game 6?
No, I mean, it's the thing with Klay is he's an incredible two-way basketball player, and that's what wins in the playoffs. Shooting comes and goes, even for the best. But if you can defend, which Klay obviously can do, then you can help a team win a playoff game. And in Klay's case, a lot of playoff games. And so the great thing is we know Klay's due for a good shooting night, but whether whether it comes or not, we know his defense is going to impact the game, as you said, plus 16 in 37 minutes. So he's doing a great job out there.
Steve, AD's obviously had a huge impact on the series. You guys end up with 50 points in the paint tonight, pulled him away a little bit. How did you feel about handling that impact? And are there times when, as great as he is, that you guys need to be more aggressive at the rim? Seems like there's just a lot of playing through.
Yeah, I mean, he's so good that you have to try to move him around. And, they did some different things tonight. They started switching more on pick and rolls. But Davis is a guy that you've got to find the right balance. You have to respect his presence at the rim, but you also can't shy away from it. So you got to understand if you have an angle to attack, you got to take it. And if he's there waiting, and that's a great time to make a jump stop and swing the ball to the other side. And I thought our guys did a pretty good job of navigating that tonight.
You mentioned the need to move them around, move him around defensively. Also, obviously, the pick and roll has been an effective strategy in this series. They switch too, as you mentioned. How do you balance wanting to move them around with your traditional motion stuff with, obviously, I guess going heavier pick and roll?
Well, that's sort of the game, for us in the playoffs is we traditionally play a lot more pick and roll in the playoffs, and we didn't go as heavy tonight on that as we did in Game 4. But it's always a blend. A lot of what we do is after the pick and roll. So if Steph doesn't have a shot, it's the movement that results from moving the defense around, and maybe the ball swings and Clay gets a jumper, or Jordan, or Wiggs. So it's still whatever you do, whether it's motion offense or pick and roll, you're still just trying to get a reaction and draw two defenders and then move the ball. And if our spacing is good and we're making good decisions, and we can be effective either way.
Steve, you guys were obviously one loss away from elimination, but with Draymond, you've said this the other night. You were saying that when he doesn't play well, you guys lose. He always comes back. Tonight, did you anticipate this was going to come from him early on? I mean, did you see it beforehand, or did you sense it?
I think you just expect it in a situation like this, where you're facing elimination. Draymond is one of the great competitors I've ever been around, so you just expect him to bring it. I didn't say anything to him. He doesn't need any pep talks from me, that's for sure.
Steve, to follow up with that, great energy today, and it's been tough to bottle that up and then take that down to LA. But in this case, do you think, well, not do you think, but in your coaching strategy, would you pull Draymond aside and talk about his, how great he did today, and just kind of replicate that for Game 6?
I think, that's what coaching is about. It's not just, drawing up plays or figuring out the strategy. It's just communication, and whatever I feel a player needs to hear, whether it's from me or somebody on our staff, then we try to make sure we communicate that. And Draymond and I we've known each other 9 years now, so we have a good feel for each other, and I think we see the game in a very similar manner, and so we talk all the time. This is I say it a lot. This is a collaboration, and a lot of times in film sessions, the players will speak up and we'll make a decision based on how they feel, and that's how this works. So we gotta make sure we keep that connection going. All right.
Just speaking of what guys need to hear, what did Jordan Poole need to hear after the last game, and sort of how he came back in this one?
I think Jordan, I'm not sure what he needed to hear. I think what Jordan knows is that our guys support him. Our guys love him. Coaches, teammates. He's a great young guy. Everybody loves being around him. He's had a lot of success, and this year has been up and down. And so his teammates just want him to know that they're there for him, and that's what it's about. I thought he was much more aggressive and under control tonight. No turnovers. He really looked to score and get his shot going. He looked a lot more like himself tonight, and I think all the guys are happy to see that because we know he's capable of so much.
Great, thank you.
All right, thanks.
I ain't no killer. Push me.
Hey, Dre.
Hello. Hi, Melissa. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
So you went on your pod. You were real calm. You said all we have to do is win one game. We win one game, the whole tenor of the series switches. The pressure's on them. Then they do not want to face us in Game 7. How have you been able to just basically every time you guys have been to the playoffs, you guys reach the finals. You've never lost to a Western Conference opponent.
Mm-hmm.
How have you been able to sort of channel that confidence and just have such a deep belief, regardless of what you guys have faced?
Well, I think number one, we have a coach who's one of the greatest winners in NBA history, and you lean on him in situations like this. His calmness, everyone feels that. And then it starts up top, right? Steph's calmness, and it goes on down the line. And I think for us, anytime it's kind of going astray, you just always lean back on what you know that works, on your foundation. And for us, it's just getting back to the basics, but most importantly, competing at the highest level that we can compete at. And, we trust and believe in ourselves. And as far as, win one, we did that. Now, going back home, they're going to give us the best shot they've given all series. And, when you go home, role players play better. Everyone plays better at home. So it's going to be us to go in kind of with the same mindset that we went into Game 4 with. But when we get the opportunity again that we had in Game 4, close the deal. We didn't close well at all in Game 4. And, it's on us to go and take the game. They're not going to give it to us. They're going to come out and play aggressive. They have great leaders over there and incredible winners. Their coach is a champion. LeBron's a champion. AD's a champion. They're not going to just fold, but it's going to be on us to go in there and take it.
Draymond, you came out just seeming like a little extra fiery today. You know that guys feed off that energy. Did you make a point to set a tone, or did you feel like that was on you to set a tone early, especially scoring?
I definitely wanted to come out and set a tone. Jacob Rubin told me before the game, you've played well, but I still haven't felt your presence like I know you can feel, your presence should be felt. And, that's coming out aggressive, both ends of the floor. That's verbally, so everyone hears you on the floor. And, I felt a little disrespected when he said it. So, I knew it was on me to come out and, like you said, set the tone for our guys, come out aggressive. Season's on the line, back against the wall. You got to come out and give all that you got. And that was just my mindset coming into this game, and that'll be my mindset going into the next one.
Draymond, you definitely had one of your better games tonight, and you said before heading to LA, you got to just focus and stay the course. But how do you bottle this energy for you as the last two games in LA have not been your best?
Just go out with the same mindset. Aggressive on both sides of the floor. Attacking. I think for me that was my mindset from the gate to just attack. Whether that was shooting a three, whether it was going to the hole, whether it was defensively, just attack. And that has to be it will be my same mindset going into LA as, our job isn't done. We're still facing elimination, and we'll be facing elimination for the rest of this series. So got to have the same mindset. Back against the wall, you got to come out fighting.
Draymond, you've always said that you can always get your offense whenever, but this offense that you play in suggests that you facilitate to other guys. But during this postseason, you have been a lot more aggressive in the last series and going into this series, trying to look for your shot. What have you seen in this postseason that suggests that you need to be more aggressive and shoot more?
Just how teams are keying on Steph and Klay. They're really doing all that they can, selling out to those guys and trying to take them out of the game. And, we get paid a lot of money to do this, so you can't just sit back and watch them like, oh, man, they're taking them out and just sit back and watch. You got to do something about it. And so for me, I know it's on me to, have that same aggression. And Andrew Wiggins as well. Wiggs was aggressive as hell tonight. And, you know, when they're guarding those guys the way they've been guarding them, we have to come out with that aggressiveness. And I think we did a really good job of it tonight and have to take the show on the road.
You guys would be kind of considered more anti-pick and roll than, you know, most of the league. Obviously, this matchup has dictated you run a lot more of that. How do you strike the balance of when you guys need, you know, do kind of your traditional stuff compared to when you kind of got to go more pick and roll heavy than maybe you even like to do?
I mean, we just lean on Coach. You know, he comes in with a game plan. His game plans has never failed us up until this point. So if he comes in, he say, hey, we're going heavy pick and roll tonight, that's what we're doing. If he comes in and say, yo, we're going back more to our regular sets, that's what we're doing, and we trust his adjustments. He's one of the best ever at making playoff adjustments. And so for us, it's all about taking what the defense gives you and what's working. And, you know, we found some success there, so you don't want to necessarily go away from it. And just keep on using the things that we've been using until they're able to stop it.
Draymond, to your point about the Lakers selling out to stop Steph, I mean, the Kings did that to some extent, and he took 38 shots, scored 50 points in Game 7. Last 2 games, he hasn't shot that well from 3, but he's got 22 assists, particularly sort of creative assists sometimes. I'm curious about your thoughts on the impact of his passing and how that's sort of controlled the pace of these last 2 games.
Well, he's been incredible passer forever. You know, his shot and the way he scores the ball is so incredible that kind of just goes by the wayside as far as getting acknowledgement. But we know he's capable of passing the ball, and you know, he's been finding guys. And, you know, if he gets past one defender, they're sending 4. And they're not just sending a help man, they're sending all 4 guys. And, you know, he's always a willing passer. He's been making the pass, and guys have been aggressive in either getting layups, getting to the rim, or knocking shots down. And, you know, he's just been controlling the pace and the tempo of the game, getting it to where he wants it. When he wants to sped up, he's speeding it up. When he wants to slow it down, he's slowing it down. And we're going to need him to continue to do that these next 2.
What did you think of Andrew tonight?
He was great, super incredible, super aggressive on the offensive side, and, you know, it's what we need from him. He is, you know, sometimes our second scorer, sometimes our third scorer, depending on the night, and we always need that aggressiveness. I also thought his aggressiveness on the defensive side of the ball was great as well. He met force with force, put up a lot of resistance, and, you know, when two-way Wiggs, when he's playing like that, we're very tough to beat.
Hey, Draymond, 7 years ago, you guys faced a similar situation heading into Oklahoma City in Game 6 on the road. I know it's been a while, but what do you recall about your mentality heading into that game, and how much can you draw from that experience going into Los Angeles?
You always try to draw from those experiences. You know, you look back, and I think, you know, experience in life is, you know, no matter what the situation is, we all look to that experience when our backs are against the wall. And, you know, just understanding, like, that OKC game didn't go our way the whole game. If I remember correctly, we were down like 15 points or something in the third quarter, and Clay went apeshit. And you just got to keep fighting and knowing that this team is going to come out and give us their best punch. And you got to take that punch and respond. And if you respond, they'll punch again, and you have to respond again. And, you know, if you can do that, then the game tends to flip your way. And so we'll be expecting their best. That's an incredible team led by incredible players and an incredible coach. So they'll come out and they'll be aggressive. We'll come out and we have to be aggressive from the gate and try to get the game at the pace and tempo that we want it at, and try to impose our will on the game.
Draymond, you were just talking about how aggressive Andrew was and kind of two-way Wiggs. There was a sequence in the fourth quarter where he started picking up LeBron super high. You finished with the block on Anthony Davis. Just kind of what does it tell you about when Wiggins is picking up LeBron like that and how the defense leads to the offense between you two?
He just not backing down from the challenge. We all know, you know, LeBron and you know, his playmaking ability, how, you know, the force that he gets downhill with. But Wiggs met that challenge. And like I said, he met force with force. And, you know, with him picking up LeBron like that, we just know we have to build a wall behind him. And Brown was able to get to the paint. I stepped up and forced a drop off and was able to get back to AD and get the dunk. But when you got a guy like that putting his body on the line, giving all the energy and effort that it takes to, like, when you're guarding LeBron up there, he's bumping you. He's not just like most guards will just try to dribble and get around. He's hitting you with body. That takes a lot of energy. So when you got a guy like that that's expending that amount of energy, as a teammate, you have to be ready to go behind him. You can't allow him to spend that energy and then just give up something easy behind the play. So for us, we were ready. Once he started picking up, we built the wall, and then, we just played and was able to make some plays.
Draymond, what do you think GP2's brought this starting lineup?
Athleticism. As we know, GP is athletic, and obviously he's an incredible defender. And just his force on the ball, his dives to the rim has been absolutely incredible. Me and Luna always call GP a small five. He plays way bigger than his size, and he's been incredible finishing around the rim. I think he hit a couple threes tonight. 1-3 tonight. But he was super aggressive and on both sides of the ball, and it's opened the floor up some, and it's made us a lot better.
Hey, Draymond, whenever Coach Izzo is in the building, you seem to play really well. Is that a coincidence, and what does it mean to you to have him come, and be such a faithful follower of your game?
That's my guy. I think you all know the love that I have for Coach Izzo. When he takes time out of his schedule to come out here and support me, I try to play my best. And, I'm not crazy enough to think that, we got another guy on the other side, Max Christie, as well. But Max should know Coach Izzo was here because I was playing and not him. I was just playing. But, when he's in the building, just always lights a fire under me, and I'm always appreciative of him taking the time out of his schedule. Man, he got so many things going on: fundraiser here, this thing there, recruiting here, plus coaching a team and running a program, family, just a million things going on. And I just try to show my appreciation for his presence with my effort when he does come.
So I only asked because you mentioned how Clay was a big factor in how you guys dug yourselves out of the last 3-1 hole that you were in. And tonight, you mentioned earlier how they try to take Clay and Steph out of the offense. And tonight, they kind of succeeded when it came to Clay's shooting, but he still finished the game plus 16. So he had an impact, which Coach Kerr said that was definitely on the defensive end. But he also said that he's due for a big shooting night. Do you think that Game 6 is the night you guys need that from him? And if so, do you think there's any pressure on Clay to do that for you guys? And if not?
We're champions, so there's pressure every time you step on the floor. You go out there, you don't win, people ready to crush you. People forget about the things that you've done in the past immediately. And so it's always pressure when we step on the floor. I do think he's due for a big shooter tonight. You're talking about a guy who's arguably one of the greatest shooters ever that we've ever seen. And he steps up in big moments. Tonight he wasn't able to get his shot going, but defensively he was all over the place. And then his presence on the floor, regardless if he's making or missing shots, you're going to guard him like he's making shots, because if he hits one, the flurry can come. And so, still the spacing that he brings on the court when he's not shooting well, is a bonus and benefit for our offense. And, I hope they start helping off of him since he's not shooting well, because he'll get it going fast. So, hopefully he does have a big game on Friday. But if he doesn't, we need his effort. We need his presence. And it's still on all of us to go out there and do what we got to do to get a win.
Great. Thank you.
Hey, LeBron, just want to ask you about AD first, just your level of concern with him after he took that shot.
I didn't see the shot. I just seen the aftermath, but medical team seems to say he's doing better. So, that's what matters the most.
How much of a part of that is do you figure now as you get back for Game 6, a situation you've been in before, maybe a little bit of uncertainty about AD, but how do you approach this as a leader going back in the plane?
That we have another opportunity. Obviously, they played exceptionally well here tonight, and we had some good moments, but not as close to 48 minutes as we needed to be. But we had another opportunity on Friday, and we look forward to the matchup again.
LeBron, was a tied game with about 4 minutes to go in the second quarter, and then we know this is a team that can go on runs. But was there anything when you think back to late second quarter, early third, that you felt like on your end contributed, not your team's end, that contributed to that run?
I mean, we kind of made a run. We had an opportunity to, I missed an easy jump hook in the lane to kind of cut the lead to 3. AD, right after that, I missed a jump hook. He had an opportunity to have a tip dunk, missed it. We blew a coverage. Clay hit a 3 on their right wing, put him up 8. And then we came back down, missed again, and then Steph hit the big one at the end of the quarter. So we know that they're a team of runs, and you got to be able to match that. And they just kept it going in the third, obviously.
LeBron, I have 2 for you. The conversation in the last 48 hours has been, from the Warriors' standpoint, has been gamesmanship on your team and flopping. Do you feel like that affected anything in terms of the way the game was dealt with tonight on the court?
I just know that we, our coaching staff and us players, we don't work on flopping. That's not even a part of our game. Our game is to attack the paint. We don't mind physical contact. We actually like the contact, and we don't shy away from it. So we're just not a team that goes out there and looking for flopping opportunities. That's just not us. It's actually never been any team that I've played on in my 20 years where we've been a flopping team. But it is what it is. They have the right to say what they want to say, but the game is always won in between the 4 lines, and we got to be better on Friday, for sure.
Earlier today, you were named to the All-NBA third team. I think this is 19 straight years for you. Knowing what you've done and dealt with physically and stuff like that, how does this one hit differently in year 20?
I guess you don't take those moments for granted when you get an opportunity to be recognized as one of the best players still in the league, and have one of the best seasons, and make an All-NBA team. I don't take my, anything that I'll be able to accomplish for granted, and I'm always appreciative for to be a part of any selection. In this league, so many great players, so many great teams, and a lot of guys this year had some really good seasons, great seasons, and to be a part of that class of 15 guys. When I seen the list, it's still pretty cool. Even at my age and where I'm at right now in year 20, don't take it for granted. Obviously I got bigger fish to fry, but in those small moments, those small wins right there, is all part of it's all part of the journey, all part of the legacy, as far as what I do on the floor, in this league. So that's pretty cool.
LeBron, there you go. Thank you. In your career, you've played in plenty of Game 6s where you have a chance to clinch. You also just had that last series. Is there something that you think this team this year needs to focus on Friday in comparison to the past?
No, I mean, every moment is his own challenge and is his own game and is his own, opportunity to see what you're made of. And we can't base last series onto this series. This series is different. The opponent is different. The challenges is different. So, Friday is an opportunity for us to see who we are, to see what we're made of, and to go out there with the grit and the fight that we've had since we came together after the All-Star break. Very resilient team, and we respond well to adversity, and we look forward to that. To get an opportunity to play again on Friday.
LeBron, you guys are 6-0 between the playing round, first round through the Warriors series at Crypto.com this postseason. I want to know if you have any message for Laker fans planning to come to the game on Friday.
Well, we didn't handle our business tonight, so, I look forward to seeing our fans, for another game in the second round. But, those 6 games are out the window. It's over and done with. So, our job is to try to be 1-0 on Friday, and look forward, to that opportunity.
LeBron, last game 6 you guys played, you said you guys approached it like game 7 mentality, didn't want to go back to Memphis for game 7. Is that, assume the same approach going to this one?
Yeah, it's the same.
It's just stuff I heard you on TNT afterwards saying that you won this game, but you hadn't shot that well. Either you or Clay, maybe, some things do. Do you feel like this was a game where you had to win it other ways, and you feel good about that because you imagine the shooting is going to come at some point?
Yeah, our defensive mindfulness was there. Obviously, Draymond was extremely aggressive from the jump. Wiggs played amazing. GP plus 25. Like, you get contributions from everybody, and shots that you feel like you can make. And the reason you take them, a lot of confidence in them. You hope that they'll start to fall, but the fact that we can control a game from the jump the way we did, handle their run the way we did, and then close out our fourth quarter strong was exactly how we expect to play, and just a matter can we take it on the road and win a must-win game on Friday.
Steph, when you get so many other contributions, does it feel like a lighter load for you than, say, a game 4 where you putting up 30 shots and running out?
Still got up 24, so it's just a matter of picking and choosing your spots. It's not really a lighter load because you're mentally still thinking the game and trying to counter all their defensive adjustments and what they're trying to do, and we're running more pick and roll, but I think it's just a great.
Hey, Steph. Dre was talking about just how calm you were this morning. First of all, what was your mindset heading into the game? And second of all, how much confidence does it give you that in every playoff series you guys have seen since 2014, you've won or gone to the finals? It's finals or bust. So you guys have gone through and seen so many things and overcame so many things. How much confidence? Like, do you guys ever get phased?
I mean, yeah, it's coming off of tough losses, you get kind of shell-shocked, and you have to look yourself in the mirror and understand what adjustments you need to make, and nobody likes that feeling. So there's a sense of being phased by that, but it's, to your point, we've figured out all the puzzles in the course of our history in the playoffs, and, I was calm mostly just because you remember just to have fun and enjoy this experience and the opportunity that we have to play at this level. Like, we're competitors, and you hate to lose, and you're doing everything you can to avoid that feeling. And even down 3-1, like, you understand what's at stake and what the consequences are if you lose another game. We're still living in that, but it's still reminding yourself to enjoy this, enjoy the competition, enjoy the work that goes into preparing yourself mentally and physically for each game, and then you allow yourself to get lost in the game that way. Mostly me, Draymond, JP when he's out there to do that, to push the pace. It's important just because they're at times a big team with AD. He puts a lot of pressure on you on the offensive end, so you try to create whatever advantage you can. That's a big thing, and part of that is just trying to keep them off the foul line as much as possible, just because that slows the game down and gives them free points, and they get to set their defense. So you want to get stops, but even if they do score, that is our advantage in the series, is our speed and the fact that I can push, Draymond can push, JP can push. We got guys running the lane in transition, space on the floor, so it's hard to do, but it helps us counter what they do well.
Steph, apart from the conversations that you guys are going to have as a team, that you're going to have with the coach, what are you going to do to prepare yourself to take this momentum following to Game 6 in LA and be able to bring it back home on Sunday?
I think just kind of take stock of what's happened Game 3, 4, and tonight. What we've done well, like even the mental preparation is, understanding that we've played well enough down there to have won, both of those games. I know Game 3 was a blowout, but the first half, there was a lot of good that we showed, and then obviously Game 4, knowing how that went. So accepting, our shortcomings there, but also understanding, we can make the necessary adjustments to hopefully get off to a good start in Game 6, give ourselves some momentum, put some pressure on them, and bring the effort and the competitiveness and the same fire we had tonight. So, that's the game plan, and again, just get lost in the game down there because it's going to be a fun atmosphere.
Do you like it when a playoff series dictates you guys run more pick and roll? I mean, obviously we know, traditionally what you guys like to do, but is it fun when it kind of demands it more?
It's more the narrative of just how hard it is to win 4 games in any series and the different adjustments that you have to make. We've been in however many, 29, 8, 30, whatever series it's been since this run started. Whether we've swept the team or gone to 7 or lost, it's always that game-to-game kind of adjustment that you love the most. Whatever the answer is, doesn't really matter. So, and we're also capable of playing a lot of different ways because of our personnel and the way that we do things. So yeah, I like it all, to be honest. You just try to figure it out.
Steve, over here, Steve said that at this point in your career, you really feel what needs to happen, what's required of you, whether that's 38 shots in Game 7 in Sacramento, 22 assists these last 2 games. How much better do you feel that than you did earlier in your career, maybe in 2015 at the start of this run? And how's it different kind of satisfaction when you are setting up your teammates as opposed to making 7 or 8 threes?
Yeah, it's the body of work that you can kind of tap into to, again, know how many different scenarios and situations that you've been in that I can build, tap into that confidence that I can do whatever the game requires. I just love this stage, so much, and not afraid of anything that's going to happen and the outcome. It's just, again, getting lost in the game and understanding the versatility of being able to play a lot of different ways, and the confidence that I've been able to do it for a long time. So, and the trust that I have in my teammates to be along that journey with me. So, it's nice and blessed to be able to keep doing it even at this stage in your career. So, I don't want it to stop anytime soon.
Steph, with AD and his defensive impact, I don't remember seeing a guy that has created this kind of hesitation for your whole group around the rim. If you look at the series before tonight, were there times when maybe all of you look at the film and were there overcorrections? Were there just a lot of times when you see opportunities where because of the impact he's having, there's second guessing happening, and then why was tonight different?
He's a great defensive player. He's smart. He's got size. He can move his feet. They have a certain system that tries to funnel everything to the paint where he's usually standing and disrupting a lot. After Game 1, you just had to feel it, for 48 minutes just to understand it was totally different than the Sacramento series. They didn't have anybody with that type of presence. But there's also counters to it, and you got to trust that that you can create a good shot even with his abilities out there. You still get kind of lulled into it from time to time. Just that's how basketball goes, and he makes some amazing plays. But when we're decisive and we're organized in terms of our spacing and understanding you might not get all the way to the basket because he's down there, but somebody's going to be open and there's going to be another option. When we're locked in like that, good things happen. You look at the last 3 minutes of Game 4, we kind of abandoned the things that were helping us, and you see the results. So it's just a matter of just being mindful of what you're trying to do at all times, knowing that he is a great enough defender that it requires it.
Quickly to that point, did you find something tonight? Does it feel like you found something with him?
No, it's more of the same of what we've done through the good parts of game 3 and 4, mostly 4. So just gotta continue. You have to make him work. Like he's gonna make plays, and whether it's in the pick and roll or whether it's off the ball. But when we're organized, good things happen.
Steph, Draymond, back in Game 5 against the Kings, Draymond scored 20 points. Tonight, he scored 20 points. Besides just giving you another scorer, what does it do for the team when he's just being aggressive and attacking like that?
It just keeps everything balanced in terms of countering what teams try to do to take away our threes, our clean looks at the 3-point line, driving lanes, where help defense is usually coming from. And I told him every play he made tonight, like, I love that aggressive, nature, because it just keeps the defense honest, and he's capable of making plays. So the first 3 was big to kind of get everybody's morale up, the emotions high. But then he was assertive, getting into the paint, finishing at the rim. He had a big shot in the 4th off of kind of a late second broken play. Timely baskets, and you have to keep the defense honest so they can't kind of load up, other places.
Steph, so how much do you like the Andrew Wiggins, the aggressive, he shoots 3 and attack the rings a lot?
It's the best version of who he is and how he can impact games. He played great defense all night on Bron, even though he made some tough shots. Like you said, the rebounds, the offensive aggressiveness, him getting up 18 shots is huge. We need that every night. And it's on us as a team to feature him too, at certain points of the game, because he is such an athlete and he can create his own shot. Gotta feed it to him and let him do what he does.
Steph, at the start of the series, it was you guys were throwing flowers at each other. LeBron, Steph, you guys, your longevity, everything else, and now it seems like Steve is talking a little bit about how the Lakers play. Darvin's talking a little bit about how you guys play. Do you feel like it's getting a little chippy? Does it feel like a chippy, more physical playoff series to this point?
I've seen it way worse. But the more you play a team, the more stuff comes out, and the power of this microphone and the gamesmanship back and forth, like, it's all a part of it. Nothing that is surprising, even from game to game. So, there's respect, but there's competition, and everything is catered to just trying to win 4 games. That's what you expect. So, yeah.
As a quick follow-up, do you anticipate AD will play Game 6?
I have no idea what happened to him and what his situation is, so I would say yes, but I have no idea.
Hi, Andrew. Steve has mentioned in recent weeks just how much your defense, good, stingy, strong defense by everybody, leads to great chances on the offensive end. And how much was that a key in this game? I mean, you and Draymond just, taking it to those guys, and Gary too.
It's a focus. You lock in, you play good defense, you're going to give yourself a great chance to win the game and, take control of the game. Lakers have a lot of, great talent, but we just got to make it hard for them, keep doing that.
When you rewatched the last game, did you feel you weren't as aggressive as offensively as you should have been?
For sure. I felt at times I definitely could have been more aggressive. Just looking for my shot more, especially looking to just get downhill, whether it's to score or create.
This has turned in for you guys a pretty heavy pick and roll series, included, obviously they put Davis on you, so you're the screener some of the times. What's it like just, I don't know, how different is your offensive role in the series, and are you kind of figuring that out?
Yeah, it's the playoffs. Every game is going to be different. Every series is going to be different. And I feel like the good thing about this team is that we have a bunch of versatile players that can, do a lot of different things, whether it's screening and diving, popping out, finishing around the rim, shooting. I feel like we have a very versatile team.
And Andrew, everybody talks about Gary's, defense, obviously, but he's a really efficient offensive player, too. How much has he kind of just changed the dynamic of the series when, being inserted into the starting lineup?
He's a game changer. for sure. 'Cause he's gonna make the right plays, the right reads on offense, and his defense speaks for itself. He's a lockdown defender. It doesn't matter who he's guarding, he locks in. Oh yeah, his offense, he's always gonna make the right play. He's gonna make that open shot around the rim. Dunk you, finish. He's talented on both sides.
Hey, Andrew. Steph said that he loved that you got up 18 shots, and he said that it was kind of sometimes on your teammates to try to get you the ball and help get you going. You seem like a pretty laid-back guy, but are there ever times during the game where you think, hey, I've got a mismatch, hey, I've got it going, and you have to kind of demand the ball a little bit?
We have a talented team. We have a lot of guys that can, put the ball up and, score the ball. So, just asserting myself, being aggressive, from the start and, just making my presence,
Andrew, you're LeBron's main defender, and it seems like a few times tonight you were trying to push him full court, maybe tire him out. What's the strategy on that, considering you want to be aggressive with him defensively, but you don't want to put him in a position where he's going downhill and compromising the defense?
I feel like, just be aggressive. If I see him taking the ball out, just, pick up. It's a long game, and even if I put myself in a bad spot, I trust my teammates behind me to have my back.
Do you sense fatigue with him in games?
I feel like you never really know. You could think he's tired, and the next play he might come down and get a putback dunk, and you just never know.
Andrew, Steph and Clay and Draymond have been down 3-1 before you guys were heading into this. What kind of tone do they set heading into this that sort of stood out to you?
The confidence, how confident they are, and encouraging, and just making everyone believe that we can do this. Just day by day, game by game, possession by possession. Just giving ourselves a fighting chance.
How much did that inspire you? And obviously, maybe looking at the film, that helped you get more aggressive offensively. But mentally, where were you at heading into this?
I was locked in. I was locked in. I feel like the whole team was, was do or die now. So we have nothing to lose but to, fight.
You ever been a screener this much in your career?
I feel like in the Boston series last year, I was screening a lot too. So,
was that? Do you remember specifically the schematics in that series? Was that they were switching some?
I couldn't tell you. I'm not too sure.
Do you? I mean, is it? Maybe you can go back to that series. But is that different for you? I mean,
it's definitely different, but I don't mind it. I feel like it's another way to get involved in the play and make something happen.
Andrew, Coach Kerr said this is probably the best game you played since you came back from your extended absence. Do you agree with that? And did it take a little while, maybe just get a rhythm after missing 2 months?
For sure. I feel like it's probably been my best game back. Just all around, defensively, offensively, and just doing things, push forward and get the win.
Hey Andrew. Yes, you were out for a while, and since you're back, you're almost like playing every other day. So how do you feel, like how your legs are?
I feel good. I feel like everyone at this point in the season's all banged up and bruised. But I feel good. Not fresh, but, good enough to compete and, try to, get another title.